All right, so welcome to this week's Blueprint call. We're going to go over the blueprint to getting the bank's money. We are a team of thousands of people across the United States. So I don't know how you found this, whether you were invited by one of my business partners, whether you were invited by one of the people in the credit club, or whether you were invited by myself. But welcome, 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 welcome. So hopefully by the end of this call, like I said, you will gain something and some information and some type of motivation that you didn't have when you came. So I don't know who has what goal, but I know that everybody on here, I'm hoping, has some type of goal. All right. So this is a quote that I read every single day. I have it plastered all around my house. It's on my phone. I read it every single day. So it simply says that you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. So that simply means that no matter what you do, you can't keep saying that you're going to get started, but you never get started. You can't keep saying that you want help, but when help comes, you think it's a scam. You can't keep saying that you go get started, but you keep procrastinating. So I'm hoping that today you will get started with whatever your plan is, and hopefully some of the information that I can share with you will help you to get on track with your goals, get on track with your business, get on track with your brand, get on track with whether you want to buy a house or buy a car, whatever you want to do at the end of this meeting. Hopefully you will be motivated, and hopefully you will be on track to do that. So I just want to introduce myself, because a lot of times, somebody might invite you to a meeting and be like, I want you to come to this meeting. My coach is speaking, or I want you to show up to church, or I want you to show up to whatever, and you don't know about the person. So it's hard for you to retain the information from a person that you don't even know if they are successful in that area. So I just want to share with you a little bit of information about myself. So my name is Coach Damont, and I've been doing credit for many, 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 many years. Started off, I was at 20 years old, started off in real estate, flipping houses. I started fixing people's credit so that they could get approved for my houses. I had flipped over 100 houses in my lifetime, and my credit score is an 800, now it's an 815, but it's between the 810 and the 815. I have multiple credit cards. I teach my team, and I teach the people that are business partners with me how to leverage their credit and how to use the bank's money to make money. That's pretty much what I do for a living. All right. I have 1.2 million points, and that's my American Express points that you're looking at right now. So I also teach my team how to get points and how to travel for free and how to get upgrades on their flights and how to get upgrades on their hotel room. So all of that is leveraging a 3-digit number, which we call a credit score. All right. All right. So this is some of the things I've done this year. I've helped over 600 people get a 700 score. I've helped over 200 people refinance their cars. I've helped over 700 people get their student loans deleted. I've helped over 1,000 people start their business credit. I've helped a few people get McDonald's franchises, a few people get Chick-fil-A franchises, and I love everything that I do. So some people call me a mogul. Some people call me a coach. Some people call me a super coach, but I just call myself Damont, and I'm just living in my purpose. And I do what I love because I love to see people educated in an area that we're not mostly educated in school or in our families. So that's just a little bit about myself. So I don't want you to get scammed. So most people think anything that's too good to be true is a scam. So I think that going to work and working a job that you hate every day is a scam. I think that retiring at 67, and most of us only live to be 78, 80, and then, working for 50 years and only getting, 11 free years out of all your years, I think that is a scam. So today, what I want to do is I want to show you how to get the money that you need in order to invest in real estate, invest in your music career. I have film and entertainment people on this call. I want to show you how to invest in stocks or get the money to invest in apps or anything that you want to invest in. I want to show you how to get the bank's money to do that, okay? Not to go work a job and build somebody else's dream and then end up with the short end of the stick by living on what my grandmother called a fixed income. So a fixed income is when you just get this one Social Security check a month and you got to make that stretch and pay all your bills. Like, I don't want any of you to live that. To me, that's a scam. That's a scam. All right. So these are some of the things that you'll learn today. So what I want you to learn today is how to get the bank's money to invest and flip without having any money. So most times, many of us don't have any money because we just working enough to pay our bills. And our bills we're struggling paying our bills because we got families, we have kids, we have bills, we have all kind of obligations, and it's hard for us to even save. So we don't have any money. Then I want to show you today how to meet the bank's criteria. All right. So if I'm going to show you how to get the money, which a lot of people never show you how to get the money, they motivate you. They tell you what you should do. They tell you how you should do it. But no one tells you how to get the startup money. So today I want to show you how to get the startup money. Okay. And then I want to show you how to qualify for credit card rewards, because most of us are taught that credit cards are bad. When we go to college or when we send our kids to college, we tell them, don't you get those credit cards? Don't you apply for those credit cards? But it's really not the credit cards. It's really the discipline in having credit. So what we need to teach our kids is discipline, not saying don't get those credit cards, because credit rules the world. Like, credit controls everything. Like, so at the end of the day, we need to understand how to use credit. And when we don't understand how to use it, then we say, oh, don't use it at all. Just use cash. Well, that's not how the rich stay rich. That's not how the rich got rich. So I want to show you how rich people think and how poor people think. I'm going to show you that today as well. All right. So what you're looking at now is a high rise. I live in a high rise. So I live on the 34th floor in a high rise. And every day I look out and I see the entire city. I look out and I'm able to see over most buildings in the city. All right. So what you have to understand in living in a high rise or in going to a hotel that is 40 or 50 or 60 floors is that you have to understand that once upon a time, that high rise was a parking lot or was another building. So in order for them to build the high rise that I live in every day, that I sleep in every day, what they had to do was they had to first recognize that they wanted to build something on this land. They had to which is something new. So they had to build something new on this land, which was once just a vision, a thought. They had to tear down what was pre-existing on this land, whether it was a building, whether it was a house, whether it was a parking lot, whatever it was, it had to be torn down to look like this. We couldn't just build this on top of the existing garbage that was on the land. So there was a vision that took place, which was someone that manifested and said, hey, I want to build a high rise. So they manifested their words and they put their words into action. Then they went and met with an architect. And when they went and met with an architect, which was somebody that understood structures, then the architect said, well, we need to put together a blueprint so that the construction team knows what to build and how to build it and how much we need in order to engineer this edifice of a high rise. All right. So in order for that to take place, it all was a process. It didn't happen overnight. It all was a process. So we had to tear down the old. We had to dig deep And then before we could dig deep down and build the foundation, we had to first start with the blueprint. Okay, so the blueprint is recognizing that this building that's on this land is not going to make us money. It's not. It's old. It's dilapidated. It's time for something new. So in order for that to happen, we have to open our minds up to a new blueprint. Because you know what? We can't use the same blueprint that we used for the old building. It won't work for this new building. We have to use a new blueprint. So what I want you to open your mind up to in this next hour is that I need you to understand that if your blueprint that you have has not been working for the last 5 years, then you need a new one. And if 9 times out of 10, if you need a new one, you don't know how to create that blueprint, so you need some help. And it's okay to say, I need help. So when I wake up in my high rise that was once a thought and was once probably a smaller building or something that was not as attractive, when I wake up in my high rise, I'm waking up in the aftermath of someone else's new blueprint. All right. So in order, we just talked about the job. We just talked about working a job and we just talked about all of those things that we don't like to do, but we have to first start with the blueprint. So that's what we'll be talking about today, is a new blueprint. All right. So these are some of the types of people that we work with and that's on my team and that I've helped to establish a new blueprint. Some of these faces might be familiar to you. Some of them might not, but they are all my friends. And Donnie, who is a supermodel, Big Mike, which is on this call right now, we'll be hearing from him a little later. He's gonna share with you how credit and understanding credit and being a part. He's one of my business partners. He's gonna explain to you how that has helped him. Now he's building his own tours and funding his own tours and seeking artists and doing a lot of things in the entertainment industry. Rashad McCants, which is a NBA player, he used my blueprint and it worked for him. And Devon Evans, which is a 5-time Grammy Award winner, he used my blueprint and it is working for him. So I just want you to understand that there's no one that this blueprint cannot work for. You can be broke. You can be bankrupt. You can be lost. You can be hopeless. You can be working a job that you hate. You can be working a job that you love. You can have 5 kids. You can have no kids. You can have a house. You can have an apartment. You can be in so much debt you can't see your way. It can work. It can work. All right. So, So this is another team. So they're in the fitness industry that made millions of dollars in digital fitness, their digital fitness franchise. They also have fitness facilities in Georgia, but they trusted me to be their coach. So it's Jason and G Bryant. So you can look them up, but they're doing some great things. They have mastered the blueprint. They have mastered credit with the help of myself, which is their coach. They have mastered business. They have mastered a whole lot of different things because they decided to change their blueprint. All right. All right. So this is just one of the team members on my team that I helped get a 2019 Corvette. His interest rate is 3%. I know people that are out there paying 25%. So would you rather pay 25% or would you rather pay 3%? You tell me. I don't know. All right. So I'm not going to play the video, but I'll let you see it later. This is Ryan. Him and his wife just bought a house. They're on my team. Beautiful house. They started in my program. They used their new blueprint. All right. I have people on my team that's flipping houses. This is Antonio Lisenby. He's in Indianapolis. He's flipping houses. He's doing a great job. And he is using his blueprint. All right. So I have a free gift for you. If you stay to the end, and we're almost done, we'll be done shortly. But if you stay to the end, I have a free Vegas stay for you. So we are Life Rewards. That's the name of the company. And we don't just do credit or help people with credit or just educate people. We also have rewards. So we teach you the rewards of credit. And one of them is traveling. So we all know that sometimes we just got to get away from your environment to reboot. So we embrace that. So I just came back from Vegas, actually yesterday. No, I just came back from Vegas today. And we have partnerships with Vegas and Cancun and the Bahamas. We have a lot of different membership rewards for our members. But you don't even have to be a member. Just stay to the end of this. I want you to get all the information. I want you to take notes. I want you to share this with your kids and your auntie and your uncle and your employees and everybody. I want you to share this information that you can be broke and position yourself to get the bank's money, to make money, flip money, pay the bank back, and still be successful. All right. All right. So this is the blueprint. This is the blueprint. This is the blueprint. So I want you, before I go through this blueprint, I want you to put in the chat. So you have a chat feature here, which all of you, I see many of you are talking now. So I want you to put in the chat, I want you to tell me the amount of money that you need right now for your idea, for your business, to invest, to buy your home. And I want you to be, it might be realistic to some and unrealistic to others, but I want you to give me that amount. All right, 100,000, easy. I'm gonna show you that in a few minutes. 150, easy, show you that in a few minutes. Give me something harder, come on. 300 for a home, easy, easy, easy. Give me some more. Give me the amount that you need for your idea, for your concept, for your business, to invest, to buy a home, or for whatever your goal is for the next year. 1 million, not easy, but it's not hard. We can do it, and I'll show you how we can do it in a short amount of time. All right. All right. I'm still waiting on you guys. They're coming in, but so far I got 500,000. I have 1 million. I have 300,000 for a home. I have 150,000. I have 100,000. I have $750,000 for a home and business. I have 250. I have 100,000. So we right at above 100,000. Everybody pretty much needs above 100,000. I'm sure if I gave many of you 10,000 or I gave many of you 25,000, you still would, that would be appreciative, but I don't want you to spend it on, yes. So I don't want you to spend it on frivolous things. So a lot of times when we get extra money, I want you to get open to this new blueprint. So a lot of times when we get extra money, we go paying bills, we go shopping, we go to the mall, we go on a trip. But the money that I'm positioning you to get from the bank right now is for investing. Okay? A home loan, that is a loan, that's not the same money that we're talking about here. So a home loan is what you need to qualify with for a mortgage. So you would have to have tax returns to show that you could afford that home loan, okay? So that would be conventional FHA. I'm gonna show you how to qualify for a home loan. Now, whether you can afford it or not, that $250,000 or the $700,000 house or whatever it is, that's something that you have to position yourself for. I'm showing you how to get the initial money to invest in the things that you need to invest in, which is real estate flipping, stocks. Some people have restaurants, franchise opportunities, daycares, whatever it is that business is going to bring in more revenue. Okay. A house loan and an investment loan is two different things unless you're flipping. But that's part of the coaching program. I'll tell you that later. All right. So what we're going to break down is the blueprint. This is the blueprint that I showed you that has helped people to buy Chick-fil-A franchises. This is the blueprint that I showed you that has helped people in the music and entertainment industry. This is the blueprint that I have shown you that has helped people to get McDonald's franchises and to make a lot of money by leveraging the bank's money and leaving their money in the bank. How I even got the blueprint is in LA. I met a billionaire and we had a conversation, and he asked me what I did, and I told him, and I asked him how did he get so much money? And he told me, he said, well, the key to getting the bank's money, he said what you got to understand is Donald Trump has filed bankruptcy 6 times. He said he filed it on the bank's money. He said, so when you take your risk with the bank's money and leave your money in the bank. He said, so the key to success is leveraging the bank's money to make money. Okay? So many of us know that now, we understand that now, but we don't know how to get the bank's money because nobody tells us. So that's what I want to explain to you. So hopefully I've given you time to write this down. This is the blueprint that is going to help you to change your life around, okay? This is the blueprint that is going to help you to change your life around. So the first thing is just like the 12-step program. So if I'm an alcoholic and I have an issue with drinking, they tell me that the first step to recovery is admitting that I have a problem. All right. So if that helps alcoholics to become free from alcoholism or to deal with alcoholism, then what do you think the first step should be for someone that's dealing with not being successful or being broke or not having the means that they need to take care of their family or not being able to live their dream life? It would be that you have to admit that there's a problem, right? So we first have to admit that there's a problem because you just told me that you guys need 275, you need 100,000, you need 250,000, you want to live in a $750,000 house. So the question that you ask yourself is, why am I not living this life? It's something that I'm doing that's not right. I'm doing the best I can do, but apparently that's not enough. Because there's other people out here that's living in a $750,000 house. There's people out here that's living their dream life, that's going on vacation, that's driving the cars they want to drive. There's people out here that's debt free. So why am I not debt free? Ask yourself that. So first you have to admit that there's a problem. Admitting that there's a problem is always hard for us because we want to always think that we have it all together and we always don't. All right. So first, before I can even help you, you got to admit that there's a problem. All right. Your way is not working. You need another way. You need a new blueprint, which we established 15 minutes ago. Your blueprint isn't working. You're trying to build a new high rise on some old, dry, dilapidated land. All right. And you first got to tear down the old building to build a new building, and then you still have to dig deeper than the old building was for the new building, because the new building is going to be much higher and more successful than the old building. So we first have to admit that there's a problem, which I'm hoping that everyone has. All right. So the second step is we have to change our mindset. So the way that we've been thinking is not the right way. All right. Because if it was, then we wouldn't be where we were. So obviously we're not thinking, we don't have a rich mindset. We're not educating ourselves the way that we need to. The third thing is to find a mentor or a coach. A lot of people that I talk to, they're like, oh, I don't need anybody to help me. Like, I know what to do, or I'm scared to ask for help because nobody out there help me, or I've asked people for help and they always tell me they're going to help me and they never come through. So the answer to that, which I'm going to go through that in a second, is you have to keep knocking on doors. You can't not ask for help because somebody told you no. Like there's 7 billion people in this world. Out of 7 billion people, there has to be one person that's willing to help you and share with you information that has helped them to become successful. All right. So the fifth thing is to fix the problem. So we established that we had a problem and our blueprint wasn't working. Now we got to fix the problem. The next thing is to get the bank's money and meet their criteria, because that's how we're going to get the money to do what we need to do. Because somebody can motivate you for days. I love church. I go to church. I love God, all that. So a preacher can motivate you right into prosperity and tell you all these things that God can do. But if you don't have the money to invest and the money to flip, you're still going to be just there existing. So you have to have a source to get the money if you don't have the money. All right. And then after we get the money, we have to invest it and flip it. And then after we invest in and flip it, we have to pay the bank back. Once we pay the bank back, then we're going to build our relationship with the bank. And then we just rinse and repeat that. And we just keep doing this over and over and over and over until we can't do it anymore. All right. So let's break down each one of them. So I told you, you got to change your mindset. So changing your mindset means, let me do a few examples, and I'm hoping that nobody on this call falls into any of these categories, with any of these poor mindset categories. All right, so here's an example. Poor mindset. I grew up poor, so I will always be poor. Rich mindset. I do not want to be poor, so I refuse to be poor. So do you see how that is a difference? So there's a study in the United States, there's been more self-made millionaires and billionaires than any time previous in nation's history. So people are becoming rich by transportation. People are becoming rich by app developments. People are becoming rich by using social media. People are becoming rich by selling their products on through social media. People are becoming rich by leveraging real estate. So if you are broke right now, that is a mindset. It first starts with your mindset. Let's go with the second one. It would be wonderful to be rich. That's the poor mindset. It would be wonderful to be rich. The rich mindset is, I'm going to be rich. So that's declaring the fact that I'm going to be rich. So the Bible says that the power of life and death is in your tongue. So you have to understand that in your tongue, you determine your destiny. There's a difference between dreaming to be rich and deciding to be rich. All right, the third one. Someday I will learn how to become rich after I blah, blah. That's poor mindset. Rich mindset, I will learn how to become rich today. So I'm not procrastinating any longer. I'm not using my past. I'm not using my financial situation. I'm not even using my credit score as the determination of me being rich. I'm changing my mindset today. I'm going to be rich. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to find help, and I'm going to make it happen. All right. So that's a mindset. Poor mindset. I don't think I can do it, so I won't risk failing. Rich mindset. Even if I fail, I have unlimited opportunities, so I have to do it. All right. So everyone has failed. Everyone fears failure. Nobody wants to fail. But until you do it, you don't know. All right. Last one. I don't have time or interest to learn new things. How many of us have heard this or said this? I don't have the time or interest to learn new things. I don't have the time or interest to learn about marketing or social media marketing, or learn about computer software, or learn about how to use my phone properly, or learn about how to properly speak in front of a crowd, or how to design a business plan, or how to speak and talk about my elevator pitch about my business idea that I've been talking about for 20 years. Like, how many of us have done that? All right. So rich mindset is, I am my greatest asset. And the more I know, the more opportunities will present themselves to me. All right. So it's not that I don't have time to learn it. It's that everything that I need to know is going to come to me. All right, moving right along. So after we admit that there's a problem, we have to understand that this is my favorite quote. All right, this is my favorite quote. So courage is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. That's Winston Churchill. All right, so that's understanding that there's a problem and my way is not working, but even if I fail by myself or with a team, I still have learned more than what I would have learned if I hadn't tried. So do you know how I built a $1.9 million credit business last year? I know I can't hear you, but I hear you talking in your cars and in your rooms, right? So I hear you saying something. So how Damont? Just say how Damont. How? I built it on the failures that I have failed in business my entire life. So I've never had a 9-to-5 job. I always worked for myself. So I've been working for myself since I was 20 years old. All right, flipping houses, and I've been in trouble prior to that by making mistakes that I'm not proud of. But at the end of the day, all of the mistakes that I made up until this point are things that I teach my team, are things that I teach my business partners, are things that now I'm teaching you. No one taught them to me. I failed. I filed bankruptcy. I lost houses. I invested in trade lines. I invested and lost $500,000. I bought a building and paid somebody cash for a line of credit that I should have paid them through PayPal or through they didn't have Cash App at the time, but should have paid them through some form that I can get my money back, but I didn't. So now I teach you and I teach my team, never pay for something in cash. Always pay through PayPal or credit card. And then if you're not giving that service, then you're able to dispute it. If you pay a person cash, you're going to get scammed if it doesn't go through. But that was a $500,000 mistake that I had to make. All right. So at the end of the day, I can teach you about credit because I failed in it and I've won in it. I've studied thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of credit files. So you have to understand that all of your failure is really not failure. It's really they're all lessons. They're all lessons. All right. All right. So finding a mentor or coach, that's part of the blueprint. All right. So today, so many people have coaching programs online. They share their secrets of success. You can go to seminars. You can go to conferences. You do not, for a person to say they don't have a mentor or coach, it just means you're just simply lazy. All right. It's so many people online that have Facebook groups it's billions of people out here that are coaching and are teaching people how to be successful. So if you don't have somebody that you can contact or somebody that you can get advice from, or even somebody in your community that you know that has been successful in certain areas that you can say, hey, I'm thinking about starting a business. How do I start it? How do I start? How do I get my DUNS number? How do I start my business credit? How do I market? If I'm in the entertainment industry, how do I get a publicist? So you need to have somebody that you can go to, because if you keep free falling it, you're going to waste money and you're going to waste time. All right. Educate yourself. Nobody cannot tell you what you can't learn on your own. Many of you spend more time on social media, as my grandmother used to say, meddling in other people's business than reading a book or listening to audio books, educating yourself. So formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. So many of us are making a living because we have been to college, but we are not making a fortune because we are not self-educating ourselves. All right. So the average American reads about 5 books a year. I'm trying to build you up. All right. And then I'm going to show you how to get the money. All right. The average American reads 5 books a year. All right. So if you just read 1 book a month for the next 5 years, you will have read 60 books in the next 5 years. You'll be above in the top 5% experts in your area. So whatever your area is, if it's food, if it's writing, if it's filmmaking, if it's credit, if it's whatever it is, if it's hair products, whatever it is, you will be in the top 5% in that area. But if you don't read and educate yourself, it's impossible for you to be above the other people in your industry. All right, we almost there. The other part of the blueprint is I told you, you got to fix the problem. All right. So many people think that when you pay past due debt, that means that you're fixing your credit. So that's why many people don't want to fix their credit, is because they don't have the money to pay their past due debt. But what I want to teach you today is this, and this is something I want you to teach your kids. I want you to teach your mother. I want you to teach your husband, your wife. I want you to teach everybody you know. So you're getting bullied by collection agencies. All right. If it says charged off on your credit profile, that means the original creditor took the tax write-off and sold the account. It is not your debt anymore. It's not your debt. It was sold to a third-party company. The third-party company is who's calling you. The third-party company is who's threatening to garnish you. The third-party company is who's threatening to come to your house and take everything you have or put you in jail if you don't pay this debt. Have you ever heard of a person that went to jail for not paying the debt? So quit getting bullied by collection agencies. It's a big billion-dollar business. If it says charged off, you need to work with a company, either like myself or there are a lot of other companies out there. You need to find someone that's able to help you to legally challenge that item and have it removed from your credit so that you can get a fresh start. Quit using your credit as a crutch to say, oh, I don't have the money to pay it, or I'm trying to work out arrangements with these collection agencies. Only work out a agreement with a collection agency if they agree to take the debt off of your credit. If they do not send you it's called a pay for delete letter. If they do not send you a pay for delete letter, do not pay them a dime. All right, that's coming from the mogul himself. All right. So there are myths that I want to talk to you about. We're almost done. We're going to talk to Mike and we're going to be out of here. So there are myths that I want to talk to you about. Student loans. So many of us have heard that student loans stay on your credit forever. So many of us have learned that bankruptcy stay on your credit for 7 years. So many of us have heard that collections stay on your credit for 7 years. So many of us have heard that repo stay on your credit for 7 years. That is not true. That is a myth. No one can tell you where that originated from. Whenever someone says they said, or he or I heard, and they cannot give you a source, that is a myth. There is no foundation behind it. I have seen thousands of student loans be removed. I have seen bankruptcies be removed. I have seen millions of collections be removed. I have seen repos be removed. So that is not true. So what it does is it plants a seed in your mind to say, oh, I've been messed up, so it's going to take me 7 years to recover. That's not true. You can recover today. It's not true. So don't allow anyone to put that into your mind. You can recover and start over today. You can start your new beginning today. You do not have to wait 7 years because you had a mess up or you fell down. All right. Student loans. Here's some examples of student loans being removed. This is Kristen Wells. She's in my credit club. These are her student loans. Student loans, I'm not going to go into that because we don't have time, but student loans I feel like are a scam. I feel like that student loans are set up to make you fail. They keep your credit score down. They keep you from getting qualified for houses. They do a lot of different things. And many times people don't even graduate, but they have hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt. But it can still be fixed. All right. It can still be fixed. So this is an example of student loans being removed. This is an example of repo being removed and collections being removed and student loans being removed. So we should have no excuses on why we can't get the bank's money now. So we can't say, oh, my credit's messed up, or oh, I went through a divorce, or oh, I lost my house, oh, I lost my car, oh, I lost my job, I couldn't pay this, so no, I got to do this, I got to work this job because I'm in so much debt. That's not good enough excuse because I just showed you it can be fixed. So if you're in the predicament at the end of this meeting, if you stay in the predicament that you're in for another 10 years, you can't blame anybody but yourself. If you stay in the predicament that you're in for another 20 years, saying that you're gonna buy a house, or that you're gonna get your car refinanced, or that you want to start your own business, or that you cook so good you want to start baking pies and sell them, and you want to start your own business, or that you have this idea and you want to get it started, you want to get it patented. If you do not do what you want to do in the next 5, 10, 3, 5 months, whatever, it's simply because you don't want to do it, because now you have the information and now there is no reason why you can't get the bank's money. All right. All right. So we got to meet the criteria of the banks. We got to meet their criteria. All right. Since I can't hear you, can you put in the chat if you learning anything from me right now? I just want to know that you're rocking with me. So can you put in the chat? Can you be like, I'm rocking with you, Damont. I'm rocking with you. If you're rocking with me, if you're learning anything, or are you falling asleep? If you're falling asleep, then I'm gonna just end this call, go get me a steak dinner and go to bed. All right. If you're rocking with me, then I'm gonna keep talking and I'm gonna keep sharing the information that has helped thousands of people. The Bible says we fail because of lack of knowledge. So I think that because we don't have the knowledge, a lot of times we fail. So I have dedicated my life to sharing the knowledge of what I've learned through trial and error. All right. All right. It's coming through. So I feel a refresher. I feel a refresher. I feel your energy, all of your energy. Carlos, Heather, Darnell, I feel y'all energy. So I'm gonna keep talking. I'm almost done. All right. So we gotta meet the bank's criteria. So how do we meet the bank's criteria, Coach Damont? How do I meet the bank's criteria? I'm just so messed up. I got all this stuff on my credit. I don't know what I need to do. And I want to get the bank's money because I know that this idea or this business opportunity, or even if I had the money to invest in somebody else's business, I know that I could make more money and live a better life if I just had a little bit of money to start with. All right. So this is how we meet the bank's criteria. So I want you to write this down, please, because you might not get here overnight. It might take you a little while, but you will get here. I told you I was bankrupt. I told you I lost all my houses. I told you they repoed my cars. I told you I was in credit card debt. I told you that I've had late payments. I've been scammed out of hundreds of thousands of dollars. So at the end of the day, if I could recover, you can too. All right. So this is what we want to do before we even go to any banks. We want to have no collections. And remember, I told you a paid collection. No, I didn't tell you this, but I'm about to tell you now. A paid collection is just as bad as an unpaid collection. So even if it's a collection that shows 0, it's still bad. I don't care if you paid it, a Sprint bill, and they made you pay it or whatever. It's still bad. We want all collections deleted from your credit report so that the banks have no reason not to give you the money and qualify you for your loan or line of credit. All right? No lates. So no lates within the last 2 years. So if you have any lates within the last 2 years, you need to work on getting those off. A minimum of 2 to 3 inquiries. Many of you go shopping for cars and go shopping for this and that, and you have inquiries and a lot of inquiries. Anything over 2 or 3 on your Credit Karma is too many. So you need to get with someone that can help you, or if you don't join my team. All right, 2 or more credit cards. So you need at least 2 revolving accounts. If you're rebuilding, 1 is fine for a starter card, and then as you grow, apply for intermediate cards. So a starter card would be like a Chase Freedom card. A starter card would be a Capital One Platinum card, Capital One Quicksilver card. Intermediate card would be a Chase Sapphire card. Chase Freedom card, Chase Slate card. Rewards card would be a Chase Sapphire card, American Express, Discover It card. So you just need to learn or get with someone that can tell you when to apply and how to apply for these things. All right. And then All your credit cards need to be below 30% utilization. The key to the key rule to credit is and this is what you need to teach your kids as well, is the key rule to credit is do not use credit unless you got the money in the bank to pay it off. Credit is not extra money, all right? Because we need to leverage it, all right? So when you have a credit card, they send you a credit card with the $5,000 limit or $1,000 limit or $500 limit, that does not mean that you have more money. That means that you have more credit. And if I don't have the money in the bank, I do not need to charge it and pay it off, because I need to be disciplined. Because in my new blueprint, I have to practice discipline, because I didn't practice discipline with my old one. All right? All right. So I need to also have 3 years plus history. If I don't have it, then I need to have someone add me onto their credit card as an authorized user, which gives me 3 years plus history. All right. I need no recent bankruptcies. If I do have a recent bankruptcy, I need to work with a company that can get my bankruptcy off. And then I need to have at least a 700 plus credit score so that I can qualify for the maximum amount from the banks. All right. So if I do all of these things, and again, it doesn't always happen overnight. It's a process. But if I do all of these things, it opens the door to give me funding power of at least $150,000 of the bank's money. So if I don't have any money and I take a little time and I just position myself to qualify to meet the criteria of the banks, I can have access to $150,000 of the bank's money. All right. So it don't take any money to do that. All it takes is discipline, educating myself, finding someone, a coach or a mentor to tell me and coach me through the process, and understanding of credit. So when I get this $150,000, how am I going to flip it? What am I going to do? How am I going to invest it? So you can do all of that in the process of getting. All right. So invest and flip the bank's money. So this is something that I broke down the other day. I was on the plane and I was just thinking about it. And I'm an odds person. So I just told you, if there's 7 billion people in the world, it's got to be one person that will mentor you or coach you, right? So out of 7 billion, you ought to be able to find one. So if there are 6,799 banks, there are 5,757 credit unions, which is a total of 12,556 banks and credit unions combined. To me, if you just have 0.00% of them give you money, you can have $250,000. I mean, it works for all the people that I work with. It's worked for myself. So I just showed you, this is an approval for last week from Navy Federal Credit Union. They approved one of my members for $25,000 limit. That's just one bank. We got 12,556 banks out there. This one bank gave somebody $25,000. They've given my people 30,000, 12,000, 15,000, but that's just one bank. So on an average, if you get $15,000 from 15 banks out of 12,256 banks, you'll have $250,000. So why are you broke? Because everybody has told me that you have a business idea, or you have an idea that can make money, or maybe I didn't ask. Let me ask. So how many of you, put it in the chat because I want to know, how many of you, if I gave you $10,000, or no, if I gave you $25,000, you have an idea or a business that you feel like it could make $100,000, where you can pay the bank back $25,000 and you can keep the $75,000, because you know that if you had the $25,000, you can make money with it. Just tell me yes. 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 I want to see some yeses. All right, there's 1 yes, 2 yes, 3 yes, 4 yes, 5 yes, 6 yes, 7 yes, 8 yes, 9 yes, 10 yes, 11, 12. All right, so I see a lot of yeses. So my question is, if you could take 25,000, and I don't suggest that anybody do this without an advisor or a coach, because sometimes you think things will make money. Like somebody called me about a different idea. People call me about different ideas all the time, but many of those ideas are not ideas that are going to make instant money or make money even over time, because they're in oversaturated industries. But so that's why you need to make sure before you take the 25,000 and invest it, that you have a proper business plan and that you understand the marketing strategic planning behind the business. But I'm just dealing with hypotheticals. So hypothetically, 25,000, you could turn it into 100,000 over time. You could pay the bank back 25,000. You pay the bank back 25,000. They go give you 50,000 the next time you ask them, because you pay them back to 25,000. So now you have access to more resources. All right. So now we know what we need to do. So we pay the bank back, rinse and repeat. All right. So this is another one of my favorite quotes, which I want you to start reciting these to yourself every day. Because how I became successful is I decided that I wasn't going to die with all of this in me. I wasn't going to die hoping and dreaming that I could have the car that I wanted to have, or live in the place that I wanted to live, or be able to live my kids a legacy or an inheritance. I wasn't going to die with that. I wasn't going to die wanting to be one of the top motivational speakers in the world and not working my behind off to achieve that goal. I wasn't going to die with people just looking at me as the person that I was 20 years ago, and I'm not that person anymore. So I was going to work every day to prove to myself and prove to everyone else that I am not him. So many people, this saying is, many people die at the age of 25 and don't get buried until they're 65. And that's because at 25, they've knocked on so many doors and they've been told no so many times, or they just got confused and they didn't have any help, and they didn't know what to do, and they didn't know how to put together a plan. They didn't know how to get the money, and they didn't know how to do any of those things. So they just gave up. So they just existed from the age 25 to 65, and then they died physically. So I don't want you to die. I don't want you to die. Whether you're 25, whether you're 65, the oldest person in my credit club is 85. I don't want you to die physically, nor do I want you to die mentally. I want you to know that you can do anything that you want to do. All it takes is work. It takes work. It takes a plan. It takes a blueprint. It takes changing. It takes reading. It takes educating yourself. It takes surrounding yourself by different people. All of those things. All right. All right. I wanted to hold on. Well, I want to do something. Hold on. All right, so now I want you to see me for a second. All right. So now I want to introduce Mike. Mike is one of my business partners. He's a member of the group Day 26. He's been on Making the Band. He's been very successful in his industry. A lot of his group mates are my friends and brothers too. But I want to introduce you to him because I want you to kind of like have an endorsement, because I know that we invited some people in the music industry, in the entertainment industry, in the film industry, all the different industries, whatever industry you're in. I just want you to know that you can get the money, okay? And then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you how to join our team if that's something that you want to do. If you don't want to do it, take what I've given you and leverage that and use that and educate yourself to become the person that you were created to be. So I'm gonna introduce Mike. He's gonna share with you a little bit about what he's done and how he's leveraging his credit. Like I've been on him. I was like, bro, you in the music industry, you gotta get your credit right. Hold on. Let's do this. Yeah. So I said, man, you in. What's up, Mike?
What's going on?
All right. Thanks for joining us today, man. I just wanted to encourage a few people because I have some people that join and they just feel like that they don't have the opportunity, they don't have the money, they don't know what to do. They stay in the studio all day long. They trying to pursue their dreams, but they don't know how to do it. So that's why I asked you to join us and just share with us like some of your goals and then how you're achieving those goals. I know we've been doing the whole credit process. You joined my partners program. Now we're partners, so now we're going to do this tour. We're going to show people how to get and leverage the bank's money and how to educate people and how to do tours. Like the tour, like you just finished the tour, you're about to start a tour. So just share with us that, and then we'll pick up from there.
Well, basically, I came in through this. I met Damont a very long time ago. I think it was at our first BET Awards, and you know, we just became friends, and from that time, I've just been learning a lot from him. But once I actually got into the program, he showed me about just, like he said, just being able to leverage the money that the bank gives you. And with that, I've been able to do the last tour that Day 26 did. I was able to fund it. I was able to put on a 28 city tour. So we was able to go out and go all over the country and perform for all our fans, and we didn't have to worry about anything because everything was already taken care of and put up before we got there. And all we had to do was get out and promote, and then make the money back. So that was a big thing for us, as well as I helped to fund our EP that came out last October. So that was also a very big thing. So a lot of artists that come out now, they don't have the funds to be able to start their own or do their own music or just things of that nature. So, but with the coaching of Damont, it really helped, and it helped to get just to get my scores up to be able to get the bank's money. So it's been a tremendous help for me, and we get ready to go back on the road again. So again, to use the bank's money once again to go out and do it all over again.
Thanks, Mike. I want to open it up before I go into the next thing, and then I'm gonna let you guys go. I want to open it up for questions for me or Mike. Can you send questions through chat if you have any questions? Anybody have any questions? If you have a question, I want you to put your question in the chat. Or Vanessa. Go ahead, Vanessa. I'll go ahead and talk. I see your hand raised.
Hey, Mike, I just wanted to know, like, I want to congratulate you on all your business ventures and everything like that. I do see that you're in the music industry, and I wanted to know, like, are you looking for any songwriters or know people, like, in the industry that need songwriters that could help starting, like, their own publishing company when it comes to writing songs?
Yes, we're always looking for new songwriters, new team members, and if you have if you want to email me, you can send me an email at day26entertainment@gmail.com.
Okay, so that's day26entertainment@gmail.com.
Right, spell it out. Day26, like DAYTWENTY.
Okay. @gmail.com. Great. That's so awesome. And do I put a certain subject in there so that you can know it's coming from me?
Yeah, just leave me a name. Wait, let me go back to this one, and just tell me what
Okay.
like we met on the call from tonight.
Awesome. Thanks so much, because I am a partner as well of life. My name is Vanessa. So nice to
Awesome.
formally meet you.
How you too?
Hey, Felicia, go ahead. You have a question? Felicia, you have a question?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I was actually referred to you guys and to listen in from my brother, Carlos, who lives in Indianapolis, who lives there,
Yes.
Carlos Williams. And I guess he's been trying to get me to join. And I just wanted to know, like, with the gentleman, you know, how long did it, you know, what did he start off with when he first joined? And, you know, how long did it take him to start seeing, you know, some progress with his life change, you know, that kind of stuff.
Honestly, I started seeing changes within with my scores within the first like three months.
Awesome.
It was very fast. So like I got a lot of my scores jumped up really fast within those 3 months, and then after that, it was really just about me and, like you said, the discipline on knowing how to make your scores rise and go even higher. So you just have to have the self-discipline to not spend to and to do things in a certain way.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. Thanks.
Any other questions, Felicia?
No, that's it.
We look forward to you working with us.
I will be for sure.
Right.
I'm definitely one of those people that I have, you know, have to change my mind. You know, I am definitely a lot of those things on the list, and I'm definitely motivated more than ever now.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This is like I was definitely one of those people as well. And before I got to the month, and I just want to let everybody know that's on this call, like it's definitely worth it, and it definitely works. I put my family members and things through this now because the way I grew up, we didn't know anything about credit. So he's been a tremendous help to me, and I'm helping my family just be able to know how to use their credit as well. So if anybody on here is skeptical, this is not a scam at all, and I wouldn't even recommend anything for anybody if it was. So
I'm about to
for me.
I'm about to bring Jackie in. Jackie is in. She's been rocking with me a long time. I'm her coach. She's now one of our partners as well. She's also a business owner, and she's used my business blueprint as well, which she'll share with you. But Felicia, the thing that I do want to tell everybody that's on here, and it's a lot of people on here, and it's going to be a lot of people to watch this after we post it, is that even if you do not join our club or join our movement, just understand that your dream is possible, and you don't have to keep living the way that you're living if you're not happy. It's not a matter of just paying us and saying, oh, well, we can fix your credit, because we're not a credit repair company. We are a lifestyle company to teach you from credit is a component of fixing the problem. Most people, their credit is messed up. They weren't educated in credit. Their parents never taught them about credit. They didn't know about credit. So that's just a solution to the problem. But even after you fix the credit, which Jackie is telling you, you still got to learn what do you apply for? What credit unions do you apply for? How do you get a line of credit? How do you maintain your credit? What happens if an old medical bill comes back from 5-10 years ago? What do you do? How do you get off your credit? How do you qualify for a house? You know, so a lot of that is a process. Credit is just a solution to help you, and you got to have somebody on your team, whether you're in the entertainment industry, whether you're in business, whether you're just a single mother. You have to find somebody on your team to help you and direct you through those challenges, because if you don't know, then you just gonna be twirling your wheels. So you got to have somebody. So I'm blessed, and I know that I can't take on, it's 7 billion people in the world. I can't take on 7 billion people. But I do want to make sure that we educate as many people as we can to know that it's attainable. The banks are giving away money, which Jackie will tell you right now. Go ahead, Jackie.
Hello, everyone. Yes, I've been rocking with Coach Damont, Coach D, for it'll be 2 years in December. And I originally came to him because he was here in Indy and he was hosting a to talk to us about credit. And like most of you watching, I was skeptical. But I realized that, like I've heard before, if you want to change, you have to change something. You have to change. And so I went to his seminar, listened to what he said, signed up for the program, and I did, and that's the secret. You have to do everything that he tells you to do when he tells you to do it, because he knows what he's doing. And now, because of Coach Damont, I have good credit. 2 of my scores are in the mid 700s, and the other is coming there because he's working with me. And now, not only do I have good credit, I have $51,000 of the bank's money. So now I'm in a position, and as he stated to you, I'm a business owner. I'm in a position to invest. I'm in a position to fund my dreams. So the 2 takeaways are: you have to trust, you have to take a risk. You can't stay comfortable where you're at because you're not going to grow. And get a mentor and do what he says, and it'll come. Be patient. It'll come. I'm a witness. And I'm getting ready to give more credit because he told me another credit union to apply for. So I'm going to get that. And I'm in a position to help people. So I'm going to keep going at it.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Jackie. If there's anybody else that has a question, raise your hand. What I'm gonna do right now is I want to share with you how to join our team. So if you're thinking about it, I know a few people said they were thinking about it. I want to make sure that you understand like what you need to do. So here it is. So this is what you get when you join our team. So we have a lot of partners. You probably found this meeting through one of our partners. Jackie is a partner. Mike is a partner. Carlos is a partner. Darnell is a partner. There's a lot of partners on here. I don't see them all. I can't see them all, but they are all on here. All right. So they might have invited you on. That's the only way that you can join is through a partner. So if this is something that you want to do, then you need to contact the partner that invited you to this meeting, and they will make sure that you can get signed up. And many people, after they hear me talk, they're like, well, I want you to be my coach. And that's fine. I'm everybody's coach. But they would be your coach as well. So they would be the liaison between us two. We do a weekly meeting like this. We'll probably be doing one once a month or so where we educate you and show you what rewards cards to get. We show you what to do. I've been doing this a very long time. I travel for free. I kind of know credit. I study credit. I take credit classes once a week. I do a lot with credit. So those of you that start your businesses, I also want to make sure that you have the business blueprint, so you know how to start building your business credit, because just getting the EIN and the business name is not building business credit. So this is what you get. So you get the credit blueprint. You get that for free. You get the credit coaching team. You get the weekly live calls. You get the online benefit portal. You get the credit deletion team. You get all your collections deleted. You get your bankruptcy deleted if you have one. You get your student loans deleted. Now, the thing behind student loans is that your student loans would get deleted, but you still owe the student loan debt. So you're going to have to work out something with the Department of Education to get into the loan forgiveness program, which many of my members are in. You also get the tax lien deletion, the home buyer's blueprint, the healthcare discount card, the Airbnb blueprint, the business credit blueprint. You get identity theft insurance, and I give you a money back guarantee if you're not happy. All right. So I told you earlier that you should always pay people through PayPal or through a credit card. So if you don't get the services that you were promised, then you can dispute them. All right. And also if you stay if you stay to the end of this call, we give you a 2 to 5 night stay in Vegas, and then if you join the team, you get a Cancun cruise. All right. Which many of our people do because we are a lifestyle club. All right. So it's a value of $37.99, but today, if you join, you only pay $6.97. So you get me as your coach, plus the coach that invited you on. You get the blueprint that I just showed you, and you also get the credit deletion team and the weekly support calls to educate you and give you what you need. So I do want to take a little time to answer a few questions. If anybody has any questions, I have some people that have asked questions in the box. So I want to see if I can answer those. All right. So it says, let me answer this. All right. What's the process once you get started? Well, I just told you the process. So the process is once you get started with whoever the person is that invited you to this call, you would sign up, and then you get a blueprint call. The blueprint call, we go over all of the items that we can have deleted from your credit by law, and we tell you the things that you need to build so that you can get to the 700 score so that you can qualify for the bank's money. All right. So that's the process. And then, so you will, once you sign up, you will fill out a checklist. Then the credit deletion team will start. Credit coach will send you over some goals. In 30 to 45 days, you should have some updates. All right. How do I acquire you, Damont, as my coach? I knew that was coming. So I'm everybody's coach. All right. So I'm everybody's coach. But again, we have other coaches as well. So we all work as a team. So you will hear from me from our weekly calls, and you will also get some goals from me. But I'm not going to promise that you will talk to me every day because there's no way I can talk to thousands of people every day. But you definitely would get me, or you have access to the office, which you can call and ask questions at any time if you need to. All right. So how do you get your score? How long does it take to get your score where it needs to be? That's different because everybody has a different profile. Everybody has a different score. Some people have collections. Some people don't have collections. Some people have repos. Some people don't have repos. Some people have late payments. Some people have student loan. So it's hard to say that. So what I would suggest you do is just to do a free blueprint call, and then we would kind of give you an idea. Typically, our program is a 3-month program. All right. How much did he start off with when he first joined? How long did it take for you to start seeing your life change? As he said, Mike
answered that. Yeah, he answered that for me already. That's Felicia.
All right, thanks, Felicia. All right. Once we acquire you as a coach, are you able to remove? And you're able to remove items, are the creditors able to challenge those items again and put them back on your credit? That's a good question. The only way I've ever seen an item reappear on someone's credit is if it's sold to a new collection agency. And if the new collection agency adds it onto your credit, then we just get it right off. So I've never seen, with the method that we use, I've never seen an item reappear the same way. It will reappear through a collection agency. That means that it has been sold. But if that's the case, then we just get it right back off your credit. So there's typically, no, they don't reappear. Hey, Ashley, I see a lot of people on here. All right. So if nobody has any more questions, well, hold on. Yeah, I don't see any more questions. Hopefully nobody has any more questions. If you do,
I have a question.
Go ahead, Vanessa.
I just wanted to make sure, was that email day26entertainment@gmail.com, just for clarification?
Yes.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
And because I keep trying to send the email, but it's saying that the address isn't found.
Day 26 ENT at
Oh,
Gmail.
ENT. I'm sorry.
Entertainment.
Okay, so don't
ENT.
spell the whole word entertainment out.
ENT.
Correct.
Okay, thank you guys.
Right. Mike, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
No, just hopefully everybody becomes part of the team, because I'm telling you, it's a life changer.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate you being on the team.
I thought you was. We've been talking about this for a very long time, so we always been together.
Long time. All right, so nobody else has anything. I want to make sure that everybody understands that no matter what you want to do or what business idea you have or what opportunity that you want to achieve, that you can do it. You can get the bank's money. They don't look at your skin. They don't look at your finances. They don't look at your tax returns. It's all based upon meeting that criteria, which I showed you earlier, which is your credit score, and making sure you don't have any collections, making sure you have a minimum of increase on your credit, making sure you have 3 years history. If you don't have 3 years history, you can always buy trade lines or have someone add you onto their trade lines. So there should be no excuses why everybody by the end of this year doesn't have a 720 credit score and at least $100,000 line of credit. All right. All right. So I appreciate everybody. This video, if you want to share it, it's going to be on all of our pages. It's going to be on YouTube, and you can share it with whomever you want to share it with, just so that they understand the value of credit and they understand that they can get the bank's money by using the blueprint too. And so it'll be available sometime tonight. All right. So everybody have a good week. We will have this blueprint call at least once a month. But right now, I want you to take this information and use it. All right. Use it. Not just procrastinate and say what you should do, or there should be nobody on this call out of we got over 100 people. There should be nobody on this call that this time next year you're still saying what you should be doing. You should be doing what you love to do, because tomorrow's not promised to any of us. All right. So everybody have a good week. Everybody have a good week, and everybody make sure that you live your dreams.